The sun is a blanket on the valley floor, and I can't hear the world of the people anymore. The clay is warm and the earth is dry. Under the blue of the cloudless sky, it's a golden slumber in the heat of the day. Watching the worries as they drift away. Golden slumber and a sun-baked clay, the finest part of a springtime day. Basking in the light and basking in the heat, making the rest of my spirit complete. The lizards are resting on the granite stone, in a world that the silence has always known. I'll close my eyes and I'll feel the glow, watching how the light and the shadows go. A heavy peace, a warm-hearted dream, by the side of the path and the side of the stream. Golden slumber in the sun-baked clay, the finest part of a springtime day. Basking in the light and basking in the heat, making the rest of my spirit complete. Of my spirit complete. Sun-baked clay, golden slumber, and a dream of a golden number.
$600 songs for the forest floor, and we've only just opened the wooden door. The green sanctuary is wide and deep, where the angels ancient souls of the nature sleep. Every leaf is a word, every root is a light. In the architecture of the grand design, green sanctuary and an ancient breath. Life is a victory over the death. We are home in the woods, we are home in the light, in the middle of the morning, so pure and bright. The air is a prayer and the sun is a hymn, filling the forest up to the brim. I'll stand in the center and I'll breathe it in, where the world of the spirit and the earth begin. A milestone of peace, a harbor of grace, in the valley's old and eternal space. And an ancient breath. Life is a victory over the death. We are home in the woods, we are home in the light, in the middle of the morning, so pure and bright. Ancient breath, green sanctuary. The forest is my heart's library. Deep in the granite, far from the light, a secret is born in the middle of the night. A trickle of water, a drop at a time, turning the cave into something sublime. Then out into the sun with a splash and a sound, at the first little spring that the forest has found. Hidden spring in a rock water, the mountains own and a mountain's daughter, cool as the ice and clear as the sky, before the heat of the summer gets high. Drink from the pool where the water is still, under the shadow of the granite hill. It's the blood of the earth the life of the stone, the purest drink that I've ever known. I'll fill up my cup and I'll thank the ground for the hidden treasure that I finally found. Hidden spring in a rock water, the mountains own and a mountain's daughter, cool as the ice and clear as the sky, before the heat of the summer gets rock water, hidden spring. Listen to the music that the waters bring. A blur of emotion, a spark of a green, the fastest spirit that I've ever seen, vibrating wings in a frantic soft hum, waiting for the nectar of the spring to come, suspended in air by a magic of force, following the flowers on a steady course. Oh, hummingbird, a jewel on the wing, the tiny heartbeat of the early spring, stillness in motion, grace in the air, a living miracle beyond compare. You drink from the trumpet of the honeysuckle vine, a tiny visitor of a grand design. Then in a heartbeat you're gone from the sight, back to the world of the sun and the light, teaching us how to be small and be fast, and how to make the beautiful moments last. music that is felt but never heard. A sea of purple under a sky of blue, a vision of beauty that is always new. The lavender is waving in the summer wind, where the cycle of the color has again begun. Stems in a rhythmic sway, chasing the shadows of the road away. The scent is a medicine deep and clean, the finest spirit that I've ever seen. Purple waves in the lavender field, to the beauty of the summer I will yield. A fragrant ocean, a floral tide, with the peace of the valley by my side. Purple haze in the middle of the sunny summer days. I'll walk through the rows and I'll feel the grace of the lavender on my hands and my face. It's a lulling music, it's a quiet song, force alone. I'll stay in the middle of the purple sea and let the whole world be a memory. A fragrant ocean, a floral tide, with the peace of the valley by my side. Lavender field, purple waves, in the sanctuary that the nature craves. Grass has grown tall enough to hide the world. Every secret of the winter is now unfurled. A sea of emerald waving in the heat, touching my knees and brushing my feet. The insects are humming a low, steady drone in a kingdom where the peace is the only throne. Oh, May meadows and an emerald sea, the wildest version of the soul being free, drowning in the green, drinking in the sun. Now that the blooming has truly begun. The clover is white and the air is so sweet, a carpet of light for my wandering feet. I lay down my head where the ladybugs play and let the whole afternoon drift away. It's a tide of the earth, a wave of the light, keeping the shadows far out of my sight. Oh, make meadows and an emerald sea, the wildest version of a soul being free, drowning in the green, drinking in the sun. Now that the blooming has truly begun. Emerald sea, meadows lost in the light and the shallow shadow. The water is shallow and the water is clear, the most musical sound that I can hear, tumbling over the colorful stones in the valley that the silence owns. A pebble song in the middle of the day, washing the worries of the road away. The ripples are dancing in the golden light, waking from the shadows of the night. Meadow stream and a pebble song, carrying the life of the forest along, splash in the moss and splash in the root, making the spirit of the water soothe. I'll take off my boots and I'll step in the flow, feeling the rhythm that the waters know. Cool as the ice and clear as the sky before
before the heat of the summer gets high. The stones are round and the stones are smooth, with a power to heal and a power to soothe. I'll follow the bank to the edge of the wood, in a world that is beautiful and a world that is good. Along, splash in the moss and splash in the root, making the spirit of the water soothe. Pebble song, meadow stream, living in a liquid afternoon dream.
Asleep, but the sky is awake, dropping silver whispers on the mountain lake. It's a midnight rain, cool and very thin, washing the places where the day has been. The roof is a drum for the rhythmic beat, making the silence of the night complete. Silver whispers in the midnight rain, softening the edges of the winter pain. Fall on the leaves, fall on the roof, I can smell the wet stone in the thirsty bar as the rain dances through the velvet dark. The garden is drinking, the forest is still as the water flows down from the granite hill. A quiet communion, a dark blue grace on the valley, sleeping in a weary face. Silver whispers in the midnight rain, softening the edges of the winter pain. Fall on the leaves, fall on the roof of the spirit of spring. You are the proof. Midnight rain, silver whisper the sun has gone and the stars are out, without a worry and without a doubt, the moon is a lantern, silver and bright, in the middle of the velvet summer night. Silver shadows on the mossy ground, in the quietest rhythm I finally found. The trees are ghosts in the milky light, guiding the spirits through the night. Moonlight forest and silver shadows, far from the sun and the golden meadows. Cool is the wind and soft is the glow, watching how the stars and the seasons go. The owls are waking in the hollow tree, singing a song of the things we cannot see. The world is a mystery, hidden and still, under the shadow of the pine-covered hill. I walk through the light of the silver moon, lulled by the rhythm of the nighttime tune. A dream of the white and a dream of the gray, until the stars are taken by the moonlight forest and the silver shadows, far from the sun and the golden meadows. Cool is the wind and soft is the glow, watching how the stars and the seasons go. Silver shadows, moonlight forest. In the night we are at our purest. Before the sun has touched the ground, the air is filled with a joyful sound. From the oak to the pine, from the bush to the tree, 1,000 voices in a harmony. The morning chorus is starting to rise underneath the pale and the waking skies. Dawn symphony and a morning chorus
waking the world with a melodic grace on the valley's old and sleeping face. The robin is late and the sparrow is second to the day that the light is finally reckoned. A layer of music, a texture of sound in the most beautiful rhythm I found. No need for a radio, no need for a stage. When the forest is turning a brand new Dawn symphony and a morning chorus. Nature is singing a song just for us, waking the world with a melodic grace on the valley's old and sleeping face. Morning chorus, dawn symphony. The world is in a perfect key.
Before the light has broken the tree, the world is as quiet as a world can be. But every leaf is wearing a gem, from the tip of the blade to the base of the stem. Morning dew like a silver lace on the garden's quiet and waking face. Crystal leaves in the early gray before the sun takes the magic away. Oh, morning dew and the crystal leaves, the tapestry that the silence weaves. Everything's fresh and everything's bright in the victory of the morning over the night. The spider's web is a diamond net where the silver drops are lingering yet. I walk so softly through the wet green, the purest morning that I've ever seen. It's a temporary treasure, a liquid grace on the morning's quiet and waking face. Drinking the cool, drinking the light before the day gets heavy and bright. Oh, morning dew
tapestry that the silence weaves. Everything's fresh and everything's bright in the victory of the morning over the night. Crystal leaves, morning dew, a world that is honest and a world that is new. The sun is climbing up the garden wall before the world has heard the morning call. The vines are reaching with a slender hand, the most delicate beauty in the land. The purple bells are opening to the light, waking from the shadows of the night, unfurling slowly in the early blue, a floral promise that is fresh and new. Oh, morning glories in the purple vines, where the spirit of the garden shines, climbing higher to the open sky, before the afternoon begins to sigh. The dew is clinging to the velvet skin at the place where the morning dreams begin. A short-lived glory, a transient grace on the garden's quiet and waking face. By the time the sun is high and gold, the story of the bloom will have been told. But for now they stand so bright and fair, scenting the whole of the morning air. Oh, morning glories in the purple vines, where the spirit of the garden shines, climbing higher to the open sky, before the afternoon begins to sigh. Purple vines, morning glories, writing the garden silent stories. where the world of the clouds and the rocks begin. I'll call to the valley and I'll call to the sky, watching the eagles as they travel by. A mountain echo, distant and lone, in a kingdom that the silence has always known. The peak is a temple, ancient and strong. This is the place where the giants belong. Mountain echo and a silent peak, finding the answers that the seekers seek. Solid and gray, reaching so high, under the dome of the endless sky. The wind is a whisper in the rocky cracks, far from the road and the human tracks. I'll sit on a boulder and I'll feel the height, in the middle of the morning and the midday light. The world is a map, small and so far, under the light of the morning star. A perspective of stone, a vision of grace, on the mountain's old and eternal face. Mountain echo and a silent peak, finding the answers that the seekers seek. Solid and gray, reaching so high, under the dome of the endless sky. Silent peak, mountain echo, above the world and its heavy shadow. The wind is a broom in the cherry grove, sweeping the treasures of the treasure trove. Pink and white, they dance in the air, landing on my shoulders and landing in my hair. It's a floral snow in the middle of May, washing the dust of the road away. Oh, petal drift on a floral snow, watching the beautiful colors go.
Short is the season, and short is the bloom, but there's no more space for the winter gloom. They cover the ground like a velvet rug, as soft and a floral and a warm-hearted hug. I'll walk through the drift and I'll feel the grace of the blossoms on my hands and my face. Soon they'll be green where the pink used to be, but the memory is enough for a person like me. Oh, petal drift on a floral snow, watching the beautiful colors go. Short is the season, and short is the bloom, but there's no more space for the winter gloom. Floral snow, watching the beautiful colors go. Short is the season, and short is the bloom, but there's no more space for the winter gloom. Floral snow, petal drift, the spring is giving its final gift. The water is deep, and the water is slow, carrying the stories that the mountains know. Over the granite and over the sand, in the oldest rhythm of the forest land. The river stones are polished and bright, reflecting the sky and reflecting the light, an eternal flow to the distant sea, setting the heart of the valley free. River stones and an eternal flow, watching how the spirits and the seasons go. Solid and liquid, ancient and new, in a world that is honest and a world that is true. I'll sit on the bank and I'll listen to the sound of the most beautiful music. I finally found the current is steady, the current is strong, carrying the life of the nature along. The storms don't move, they don't change their mind, leaving the noise of the city behind. I'll be a stone and I'll be the stream, living in a liquid afternoon and dream.
watching how the spirits and the seasons go, solid and liquid, ancient and new, in a world that is honest and a world that is true. Eternal flow, river storm, a peace that the forest always owns. The water is deep. The water is deep. The water is deep. The water is deep. Eternal flow. Eternal flows. Eternal flow. A peace that the forest always The water is deep. 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 The water is deep and the water is deep and the water is deep and the water is deep. The water at rest. Nature's wearing its finest vest, but deep in the root and deep in the sea, the change is a hunger and change is a need. Seasonal change in the heart of the wood. Everything's moving, everything's good. Nature's pulse is steady and deep through the waking world and the world of sleep. Nature's pulse and a seasonal change in the forest of wide and eternal range, connected by life and connected by light in the victory over the winter night. Every ending is just a start in the forest grand and eternal heart. The summer will fade, but the earth will remain through the sun and the wind and the silver rain. I'll walk in the rhythm, I'll walk in the flow, watching how the spirits and the seasons go. A milestone of peace, a harbor of grace in the valley's old and eternal space. Nature's pulse and a seasonal change in the forest of wide and eternal range, connected by life and connected by light in the victory over the winter night. Seasonal change, nature's pulse. The forest is true and nothing else.
The spring is leaning toward the summer heat, making the first of the cycles complete. From the first little bud to the full-grown leaf, a story of nature that is long and brief. A seasonal echo in the heart of the wood. Everything's moving and everything's good. Infinite cycle and a seasonal echo, watching the green and the gold as they grow, around and around in a circle of time.
sublime.
Every ending is just a start in the forest grand and eternal heart. The flowers will fade, but the seeds will remain. Through the sun and the wind and the silver rain, I'll walk in the rhythm, I'll walk in the flow, watching how the spirits and the seasons go. Infinite cycle and a seasonal echo, watching the green and the gold as they grow, around and around in a circle of time, turning the earth into something sublime. The clouds are low, the sky is lit. I'm curled up warm in my forest bed. Then comes the tapping on the wooden roof of the spirit of the spring. It's a gentle proof. A soft rain falling on the dusty ground, the most peaceful rhythm I finally found, washing the leaves and washing the stone, in a world that the silence has always known. Soft rain and a petrichor bliss, nature's own and a rainy kiss, scent of the earth rising thick and sweet, making the life of the forest complete. The birds are quiet in the heavy shade.
in the sanctuary that the rain has made. I'll open the window and I'll breathe it in, where the world of the spirit and the earth begin. Every drop is a promise, every drop is a gift. Feeling the weight of the seasons shift. The garden is drinking, the garden is glad for the finest silver that it's ever had. Nature's own and a rainy kiss, scent of the earth rising thick and sweet, making the light of the forest complete. Petrichor bliss, soft rain, and in the silence of the winter pain.
Gold is fading to a deeper blue as the stars begin to whisper to you. The indigo breath of the coming night, taking the place of the afternoon light. The swallows are diving in the purple air, a beauty that is beyond compare. Spring twilight and an indigo breath, the day is sleeping a quiet death. Cool is the wind and soft is the glow, watching the light as it starts to glow. The perfume of the jasmine is thick and sweet, making the transition of the day complete. The valley is a shadow, the mountain is a ghost, as we drift away from the daylight coast. I'll sit on the fence and
And I'll watch the sky as the last of the springtime clouds go by. Spring's twilight and an indigo breath. The day is sleeping, a quiet death. Cool as the wind and soft as the glow, watching the light as it starts to go. Indigo breath, spring twilight. Welcome the stars of the velvet gold is fading. Indigo breath. The gold is fading. Ooh, indigo breath. Spring twilight. Indigo breath, indigo breath, indigo breath, indigo breath. Welcome the stars of the velvet gold is fading. The gold is vain twilight. Indigo breath, the spring twilight.
is changing, the light is deep. The winter's memory has fallen asleep. A warm breeze traveling across the plain. We're on the threshold of the heat again. The green is darker, the grass is high. Under the dome of the cloudless sky, the valley is breathing a heavy scent of a season that is heaven sent. Summer's threshold and a warm breeze singing through the heavy leaf trees. The door is open to the golden light, washing away the last of the night. Shadows are long and the days are slow, watching how the seeds and the spirits grow. I can feel the pulse of the coming sun, now that the springtime work is done. The earth is a furnace, steady and low, in the rhythm that only the seasons know. Step inside and let the warmth begin to heal the places where the cold has been. Threshold and a warm breeze singing through the heavy leaf trees. The door is open to the golden light, washing away the last of the night. Story of fire and a story of gold. My boots are heavy on the dusty ground, in the quietest rhythm I've finally found. The sun is a fire on the back of my neck, without a cloud or a single speck. Golden dust is rising in the afternoon air, floating in the light and floating everywhere. The path is a line through the emerald sea. He only wrote for a person like me. Sun-drenched path and the golden dust. In the spirit of the summer I will trust. Walking away from the noise and the street, making the rest of my soul complete. The heat is a blanket, heavy and warm. After the passing of the morning storm, the grass is dry and the earth is hard. In the forest wide, an open yard, I'll follow the trail where the shadows are thin, to the place where the mountain heights begin. A journey of light, a journey of heat, with the world of the nature under my feet. Sun-drenched earth and a golden dust. In the spirit of the summer I will trust. Walking away from the noise and the street, making the rest of my soul complete. Golden dust, sun-drenched path away from the world and its winter. My boots are heavy on the dusty ground. My boots are heavy on the dusty ground. My boots are heavy. Golden dust, sun-drenched path away from the world and its winter The sun is dipping to the edge of the hill, and the world is growing perfectly still. A splash of the orange and a splash of the red, before the valley goes to its forest bed. An orange glow on the mountain peak, finding the answers that the hikers seek. The light is a honey, thick and warm, after the passing of the afternoon storm. Sunset Valley and an orange glow, watching the light as it starts to go. The day is leaving with a graceful bow in the middle of the here and the middle of the now. The clouds are like fire in a sea of the gold, a story of beauty that is never old. The shadows are long on the emerald floor, stretching away from the cabin door. I'll sit on the fence and I'll watch the sky as the last of the summertime clouds go by. A silent blessing for the end of the day as the pink and the orange drift slowly away. Sunset Valley and an orange glow, watching the light as it starts to go. The day is leaving with a graceful bow in the middle of the here and the middle of the now. Orange glow, Sunset Valley, far from the noise and the city alley. High in the granite, the white is gone. Under the heat of the Maytime dawn, the snow is a river, the ice is a flood, flowing through the rocks and the mountain mud. A high torrent rushing to the plains below, the final journey of the winter snow. Thawing peak in a high torrent, the power of the spring is now apparent, rushing and roaring with a liquid pride, with the whole of the mountain by its side. It fills a canyon and it feeds the trees, bringing the forest to its happy knees. I can hear the thunder from a mile away, passionate.